Guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Hope everyone had a positive day. My name is Shy. We're back with Mr. Nightmare, and this is Tinder Matches from Hell with Backstories. So sit back, relax. You know it's gonna be a good one, and let's get into it.
I've gone over Tinder and other dating apps countless times on this channel.
Yeah.
And in this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 Tinder matches that went completely wrong or almost did, and their backstories. This was the Tinder match between a guy named Chaz and who he thought were 2 girls around his age. This is how the conversation went. My friend and I think you're really cute. I hope your friend is also a girl, LOL. She is silly. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Where are you ladies from? Then they share their locations, which aren't far. The other profile asks, are you busy tonight? Yes, I am. I'll be hanging with you 2. Yes, want to come around 10? Yeah, where do you live? Wait, actually our parents are both home. Want to meet at the park? We can find a place to hang there.
The park?
Yes, we can do that. My parents are home too. Damn. What time should we meet there? 10? Yes. Okay, what are your numbers? Let's just message on here until we meet. Damn, I see how it is. Gotta earn your trust. Yes, we're heading over now, okay? Okay, Sam, I'll probably be there like 10:10. Okay, perfect. Where exactly in the park do you want to meet?
At the park.
You meet by the statue on the dirt path. It's like a dog walking path. No one will be there this late. Then we can find a better spot from there together. Okay, I looked it up. I think I know how to get there. I'll message you when I'm there, okay? Okay. Chaz then arrives to the destination in the park, and he sends a message saying he's here. He follows it up with, this is kind of creepy, are you guys here? And then a subsequent question mark. This was the last message he sent the profile before it unmatched him, and then he was left alone in the woods in the park on a dirt path completely void of any people. Chaz knew at this point that he had been tricked, but he didn't know just yet if he was just pranked or if he had walked into a trap. But then he started to hear noises in the woods, like the snapping of twigs and leaves on the ground, indicating he was being watched. He already had his phone out, using it as a flashlight to navigate his way to the agreed meetup point. So at this point, he decided to start recording for his own protection. This was the footage he captured.
See, this is what happens when you meet somebody on online dating, and you barely know them, and you tell them to meet somewhere, especially at night. Oh, what the?
In this footage, you can easily see that as he pointed his light into the woods where he heard another sound, it revealed someone in the woods, who then started to run out from the trees and chase after Chaz. While running, Chaz stopped recording to turn off the flashlight, then ran into the trees to hide. He started recording again when he thought he had lost the person chasing him.
You better go, he's probably watching you.
He kept recording the rest of his way out of the park and back to his car to have video evidence of anything in case of a worst-case scenario. Luckily, Chaz made it back to his car and home in one piece. He tried reporting the profile to Tinder just based off the screenshots he took.
Oh my god.
But Tinder got back to him saying they're unable to find any profiles that match the description or pictures. Chaz was obviously not wise to enter a suspicious situation like this. The other profiles' refusal to give their number, as well as meeting anyone for the first time in a park by the woods at night where nobody else would be around, are 2 major red flags that this was some kind of trap. He was lucky to have gotten away.
Yeah, you better be lucky. Like, come on, Chad, you gotta do better than that.
This second match is more on the bizarre side. The girl who submitted this to me wasn't the one to match this profile. Rather, it was her bizarre side. This second match is more on the bizarre side. The girl who submitted this to me wasn't the one to match this profile. Rather, it was her friend Maddie. The profile was titled Invincibles, and it claimed to be some guy, or rather a pair of people, including this Chelsea person, who would pay someone to kick the man in the picture in his groin. This is the story in the girl's words. One of my best friends, a girl named Maddie, was on Tinder one day when she stumbled upon this account. It was supposedly dedicated to finding people to kick a guy in the groin for a payment of between $50 and $100. Of course, my friend, needing money because of the pandemic and such, swiped right on him. He quickly messaged her back that there were several people involved in this, including a girl named Chelsea. We're not sure if they were even actually real to this day. We live in a small town in Pennsylvania, and this account was listed in a couple towns over in Clearfield. My friend Maddie was of course a bit skeptical about this, so she messaged me so that she could come have
Time
some
and
sort of
place,
backup when she went to do
Saturday
this.
night or any other day
The
coming
account
up.
stated that they were doing this for a YouTube video, and the guy who was being kicked had lost a bet at a bar a couple weekends before. I agreed to accompany my friend because I also was a bit skeptical, but I had enough confidence that I could protect her if things happened to go south. The next day, after my friend agreed to meet with the people, we set off towards Clearfield. The address the account gave us led to a random hotel in Clearfield, which already sort of creeped us out. The whole setting seemed off, and I'd better include that my friend Maddie had never mentioned that she'd be bringing anyone with her. We arrived at the hotel and sat for maybe an hour, if not a little less, waiting for the person to get back to us. They ended up saying that they would be a little late, and to sit tight. After the prolonged waiting, the person eventually mentioned that they were back in town. Instead of meeting at the hotel, they suggested that we just come straight to their house instead. Already I was feeling a little off, but I had confidence that I could defend my friend against any harm that may have came our way. So we set off to this guy's house, and in under 10 minutes, we eventually made it there. At first I felt relieved, as the address he gave us led to a big, normal-looking house, right next to the main road. But upon further investigation, there was a creepy-looking shed behind the house, with an even creepier-looking man peering from out the side of the door to the shed. My friend Maddie parked in front of the shed, and she told me to wait in the car, which immediately screamed the worst things to me, but I trusted her to read the situation and know what she was doing. After all, getting paid money to kick some random guy in the nuts, it sounded like a dream.
Yeah.
The guy left his shed, looking even creepier than before. He was skin and bones, with hair hanging past his shoulders. He also seemed nervous and twitchy, not at all like the guy in the Tinder profile. I heard her ask him, "Hey, I brought my friend along just as a precaution, is that okay?" And in that instant, I watched his expression drop, which screamed another red flag to me. He stuttered out, "Yeah, that's fine, I guess." So I got out of the car and followed her, knife in my pocket in a hurry, and we stepped inside the shed, to which point I immediately began to regret mine and her decisions up until that point. The shed was filthy. It was cluttered with random items and boxes, with the toilet sitting in the corner. The guy, who I quickly realized must be an addict by the way he was acting, very nervous and twitchy, was now standing solemnly in the corner, setting up his laptop to record this event. We made some very awkward small talk as he was doing this, at which point I noticed something else that bothered me. This random guy had Snapchat installed on his computer, which is what his friend Chelsea was messaging us from. I could just be paranoid, but something about this told me that he was actually Chelsea, and he needed another device to Snapchat her on to make it seem like he was someone else. After he set it up to record, he seemed angry and tense, as if he didn't actually think he was going to get kicked in the groin that day. He turned around, and my friend went about her business with him, and promptly after, he asked in a shallow voice, "So what are you guys doing tonight? Do you guys smoke?" referring to weed. We both quickly replied no, and that we had other things going on, despite the fact that we both do smoke. Maddie quickly collected the cash from him, and we left. Now this might not all seem off to a regular person, but I can't help but feel like if I wasn't there, then something bad would have happened. After we left, my friend had mentioned that before we got there, this alleged Chelsea person had offered to rent a hotel room and buy her pizza. I don't like to think about what would have happened if I wasn't there, but deep down I know that something way more malicious had been planned. Based off the girl's recounting of this event, it's safe to assume that the man in the picture wasn't the same guy that they met in the shed, and that this Chelsea person didn't exist. Maddie and her friend were smart to go into the situation together, as there's always more safety in numbers.
I mean, at least you got some money.
This last one is another example of why you can never be too careful with online dating. This was submitted by Jeremy, and this was his Tinder match. He matched with a girl named Mia, who was in the same high school class as him. Their conversation went as follows. "Hey, long time no see." "I know, hey. How have you been?" "Not bad, and you?" "I've been good, just working a crap ton." "You still talking to anyone from high school?" "No, not really. I was happy for high school to be over." "Same. It's funny we only ever really spoke a few times in school." "Yeah, I know. Maybe we should make up for lost time." "Maybe we should. Do you have a Snap?" From here, Jeremy gives Mia his Snap, and they continue their conversation there. Jeremy didn't take any screenshots from the Snap conversation, but basically from there, they continued to talk about life after high school. Then they escalated to talking about linking up somewhere and chatting in person. They agreed to meet in a nearby parking lot behind a strip mall where nobody goes at night. Jeremy was ready to go basically right away, not needing much time to get ready. Mia, on the other hand, said she wouldn't be able to get there for another hour and a half at least. She claimed she was with friends and couldn't just ditch them, so they set up a meetup time for 12 behind the strip mall. It took Jeremy only 5 minutes to get there, as the lot is in the same town that the two live. He sat there in his car waiting for her for about 20 minutes, receiving apologies for being late every few minutes on Snapchat. Eventually, headlights appeared from around the corner and approached slowly, then stopped not too far from Jeremy's car. Mia snapped him a picture of his car, saying, "I think I see you." So Jeremy stepped out from his car. He then realized the car looked to be a small Honda or Hyundai, when in reality, the car that was posted all over Mia's Instagram was a Jeep Cherokee. Immediately, Jeremy went back into his car and went to DM Mia on Instagram. Meanwhile, the car outside was honking at Jeremy. He opened Snap and messaged her, "Hey, step out from your car and let me see you for a second." They opened it, took half a minute to reply, then said, "I don't want to, it's so cold out. What's wrong?"
Get back in your car, bro.
At this point, Jeremy knew something was off, so he got in his car and started driving home. But the car was following him, honking the horn. Jeremy decided to get on the highway, at which point the car behind him tailed off and disappeared. Jeremy pulled to the side of the road to block the Snapchat account, but they had already beaten him to it. He went home, and by then he had gotten a DM back from the actual Mia. This is how their conversation went. Jeremy opened with this: "Hey, this may sound really, really weird, but did I match you on Tinder?" She says, "Hi, no, why?" "Jesus, long story. I matched someone catfishing as you, and we talked for a while about high school. I really thought it was you. I met up with the person running the account in a parking lot, but it was some random car, not your Jeep, so I drove away."
Oh, that
Then he sent
catfish
screenshots of the
person must
conversation.
know this Melissa, right? What's her
This
name?
is another familiar lesson to be more cautious about who you're meeting online, and to always make sure you have proof that the person you're planning on meeting is actually who they say they are.
Talk about it's cold. This person must have liked Jeremy. And I bet you it was a guy too. Crazy. You gotta watch out. Gotta watch out for these Tinder stories. You know, because you never know who's there. Especially the first one. Meeting at night. Two. Catfishing. Kick someone in the balls. It's not worth it. And thirdly, obsessed. So thank you guys for tuning in. Tell me guys what you think. Give it a big thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. And till next time, you guys. Peace.